Hour, my people. You do my say, Anya hour, my people. Alukweye. Friends of Biafra, gather today. You need to get occasion. You are welcome. Kaboom, Ebo.
I think Uche needs a mic. He has one, right? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that would be. Let me call.
Our Father who art in heaven, nanyị nke bi n'eluigwe, ka aha gị dị nsọ, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee all over this very planet that you created. They are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as only you ordained, that this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in the spirit, because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have spilled, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day Chukwa Biama Benigwe whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time.
Yeah.
All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said, my name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet, I tell you.
Unless you understand your role in society, you can never ever make any meaningful contribution. According to the Greeks, there are three types of people on this earth: the idiots, the tribesmen, and the citizens. People don't know the meaning of the word idiot. They think it's an insult. It's not an insult. When the Greeks used the word idiots, they did not use it as a curse word. Idiots are people who just do not care. That is the original meaning of the word. If they write exams, they will cheat. If they are in government, they will steal. An idiot does not care at all. If he eats banana, he throws the peel anywhere instead of putting it in a trash can. According to the Greeks, some societies have more idiots than tribesmen and citizens. As I used to say before, Nigeria is full of idiots. Idiots.
before. Southern Sudan fought a war for 30 years. 30. Our own was only 3 years. Only our also 3 years only. Everybody ran away. Only 3 years. We don't want to build men that at the slightest sight of difficulty they run away. We want to weed out all the chaps. We need those that can sustain, those who are relentless in the pursuit of our freedom until our freedom comes. No retreat and no surrender. How do you get them?
Buying and selling has put us into wait and take business in anything we want to do. Whatever that will take us time, we don't want it again.
Nobody wants
the problem with people.
You know your people, at the slightest sign of difficulty, because they are used to buying and selling, they will run away.
Somebody is telling me here, he doesn't want to even go back to that zoo safe or whatever.
You must understand this. The greatest task on this very earth is to get a black man to reason like a human being. The same way, it's just like trying to keep an Igbo man away from gossip. Hey, it's impossible now. Come on, for goodness sake. How can you keep an Igbo man away from gossip? Oh no, please, give me a break. Anywhere there is gossip, you find them there. Gossip, the gossip is sweeter than honey from Igbo man. Gossip. Unverified rumors and gossip is like honey to them. That is how hard it is trying to remove the bottle from the mouth of a baby saboteur. Is as hard as trying to get a black man to reason properly. As one brother wrote very eloquently, he said there are saboteurs everywhere, that every ethnic group have their own saboteurs, but there is something special about an Igbo sabo. that an Igbo saboteur is the special breed altogether. That his own sabo is spiritual saboteur. What drives him or her, he or she wouldn't know. If they try to be like you and they cannot be like you, the next thing is envy. And another thing is, what do I do to bring him down to my level? They're going to sabotage. That's the way they are. It's in their nature. Nobody can take that away from an Igbo man. It's how they are. That's how they are wired.
All right. So we are reading from the book of Obadiah, from chapter 1 from verse 10. He said, "For violence against your brother Jacob, for violence against your brother Jacob, shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever." Are you all listening? Let me repeat it again. The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10, say, "For violence against your brother Jacob, shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever." All of you have seen the way the people who claim to be fighting for Biafra, you know that this is a special week we are, okay? What has happened today? Some of them, all the things they have done in the past, they have gone back to it and start taking glory. They are taking glory. After they wage violence against their own brother. Let me read from 11. In this one, go to Nigeria. "In the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that strangers carried captive his forces, when foreigners entered his gate and cast lot for Jerusalem, even you were as one of them." Hey! Are you people following? The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 11, say, "In the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that strangers, Fulani government and their politicians, strangers carried captive his forces when strangers entered his gate. When strangers entered our land and they cast lots for Jerusalem, even you, the people that claim they are fighting for Biafra, even you were one of them. Even you were one of the strangers. Even you were one of those who have come to carry the forces captive. You
prayer. There is no room for sabotage. I am not fighting Biafra freedom with a clean eye. The thing I'm telling you people today, if you know you are going to occupy any position in the Biafra de facto government in the homeland, listen and pay attention. I don't have friend. I don't know anybody. I don't know you. You are not my friend. The only thing that we are doing brought us together is that you have volunteered to serve Biafra people in the homeland. If you become a problem, you will regret it. It is a call to serve Biafra people, not a call to serve Ekpa, not a call to build clique, not a call to form cabals in your various states, not a call to do paddy in the Biafra government. The price and the consequences is heavy. Many people have died in this struggle. You must listen to instruction. You must take directive and don't joke with it.
I want to encourage every Biafrans to be very, very, very resolute and focused. The difference between us, the Biafra people, and those that are blackmailing and propagating all manner of falsehood against us is that they are two-faced people, corrupt, very unbalanced people, and we are not two-faced. These people that are parading and spreading all this falsehood against us are those who believe in Biafra and they believe in Nigeria.
All of us Biafrans in the Brigade Cabinet, the Federal Homeland, the Biafran Liberation Forces, the Biafran Army, we have vowed in our life, we are going to continue this same call, this same place that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has. Nobody will stop that. I want to let Biafrans know that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has set all the structures in place for Biafra restoration from the beginning to the end. So parading this government or using this government as a backing to commit your atrocities. If you do not support this United States of Biafra under my leadership, as Obatobie has said it, you need to stop using our logo. You need to go form your own government. You need to stop parading yourself as a state or as a member of United States of Biafra. That is the freedom you have. But you do not have the freedom to use our logo, use our name, use our people, use our Twitter handles to go and parade lies that will bring division in this government. This United States of Biafra is fully intact. It's only one country that we have. Those of you that do not believe in that, you are free to leave. You are free to go. But make sure you're not using anything that is bearing our Prime Minister's name or anything that our Prime Minister has established. Be sure you are not using that. That is what I'm telling you. Be sure you are not using any Twitter handle that our Prime Minister is aware of. Any name, any logo that belongs to the United States of Biafra, to the Biafra Republic government in exile, to the de facto government. Make sure you are not using that. You are free and you have the power and you have the right to walk away. But anywhere we get you using anything that belongs to the United States of Biafra or Brigade or de facto, Biafrans are going to come after you. For our defense, the only authorized arm for the United States of Biafra defense at this time is the Department of Defense headed by our own Solomon Nkwocha and the Deputy Onyami. And then we have the people on ground. We have our angels that are doing the needful, that are working closely with the United States of Biafra defense team. If you know you are a defense team for the United States of Biafra, you must align yourself, with the Biafra Defense Department headed by Solomon Nkwocha. If you're not doing that, then you are on your own. Again, the state administrators, the 40 state administrators, please be on the lookout for all those infiltrators in your states. And do not hesitate to bring it to the attention of the government. Any individual or group that uses the name of this government in any meeting, in any form, anywhere. We will continue to expand our angels guarding our land against the reintegrated terrorists sent by the Nigerian President Tinubu, Hope Uzodinma Soludo and co. They know they do not have any right to assemble terrorists in uniform in our land and label them security. We are a nation with all the criteria met. So any terrorists in Nigeria, army and police uniform or security in our territory, they need to know they are occupying a foreign land and they need to leave. We must protect our land against foreign invaders. Like I said, our defense department will continue to expand and fortify the angels that are protecting our land in the 40 states.
Hey!
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on today's program, wherever you are joining from. I welcome every one of you that has connected to this program, wherever you are connecting us from. If you're watching the program from TikTok, I welcome you. Please tap the screen, and share to everyone you can be able to reach to. If you are watching on Facebook, I urge you to kindly like and share so that you can get other people involved. If you are with me on David Harbour channel, where we are hosting the program, you know what to do. Share the program. Make sure you invite at least one person as you join. Every one of you that is watching, wherever you're watching from, you know that the social media does not help us to promote our content. It is you. It is me that will share it and make sure we get to the people who will get this information. Don't just be here alone. Make sure you invite at least one person, As you enter, you bring one person along with you. It is going to carry us a long way to do what we have to do. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you that has connected in this very platform today. Wherever you are joining me from, I welcome you and I thank you for being part of this program. For the sake of those who are joining this platform for the very first time, or those who are going to come across this video for the very first time, I want you to understand that this platform where you are watching this program is a platform that stands with the United States of Biafra. Under the command of our Prime Minister, Ngozi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the order and control of the Deputy Prime Minister, COS interim, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. That is where we stand. Just as the Deputy Prime Minister has said, there is only one United States of Biafra. They are not true. There is only one United States of Biafra. They are not true. It is either you align yourself under the command of the United States of Biafra, which Mazi Simon have established, today being run by the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. It's either you align with that or you are not part of the United States of Biafra. If you decide to join any agitating group for your freedom, I have no problem with you. We have no problem with you. Remain there and do what you have to do, what you feel is good. And those of us who have aligned ourselves with the government of Biafra, the United States of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, we know where we belong and we know what we are doing. Once again, there is only one United States of Biafra. Today, under the command of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. In this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We do not come here to preach hate. We don't come here to attack any people or groups. We don't come here to attack any person or individuals. We do not come here for propaganda or blackmail or saga. No, we've gone past that. We do not come here to speak against any race or religion. No. Why we come on this platform to speak is to create awareness to the world and let the world know what is going on in Biafran territory. Also in Nigeria in extension. Our purpose of being in this platform is to create awareness and let the world know the atrocities the Nigerian government is committing in Biafran territory. The genocide they are committing, the inhuman treatment, the war they have declared against Biafran, that is still ongoing as you are watching me wherever you are watching. It is sad that in the midst of the war, no international media is paying attention. No conventional media is reporting this. The same thing they did in 1967, and they allowed genocide to happen in Biafran territory. The second genocide after Holocaust. Up to this moment, nobody has been held accountable. Up to this moment, the people who participated actively in that genocide in Biafra land, they are still alive, celebrated across the world. Some have been given monuments to remember them. People who are supposed to be rotting in jail. We have cried, we have complained, we have cried. Nobody seemed to be paying attention until we decided to take the bull by the horn. Mazen Nandekana started the journey and brought us to a point where they kidnapped him from Kenya and extraordinarily renditioned him to Nigeria against international law. Nigeria committed a heavy crime. Up to this moment, there has been no sanction against Nigeria. There have been no reprimanding. Up to this moment, the international community that are supposed to call to the attention of Nigeria what they are doing, they are still busy strengthening their relationship with the zoo because of their own interests. The world we live in today operates according to interest. As long as your own interest is covered, you do not care what your neighbor is feeling. That is the truth of today. That is why it has become very paramount that we will take our freedom into our own hand. That is what we are doing. Watching what transpired on the case of Mazen Nandekana and how he was treated, the Prime Minister of Biafra, Mazen Samareka, took up the mantle and he did a great job. He did a great job and created more awareness, more especially on the international stage, officially notifying many governments of the world, United Nations, and more especially playing a major role on the ground in Washington, D.C. The case of Biafra has officially been reported to so many organizations and so many countries of the world. And our Prime Minister succeeded in taking us to the declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra. It was done. Today, I speak as a Biafran in this very platform. Everywhere I go, I represent as a Biafran because that's who I am. From the 29th of November onwards, if you are from the old Southeastern region and you still identify with Nigeria, you are a fool. From 29th of November onwards, Anytime you identify yourself as a Nigerian, you fool yourself. The Biafrans have left Nigeria and we are going on with our lives. What is remaining today is complete restoration on the ground. After Biafra has been declared, the restoration lies on you, lies on me. Even though they kept our Prime Minister incommunicado, if you are a genuine Biafra and you somehow think that Mazi Simon ever cannot communicate to the Deputy Prime Minister, you are a joker. If you somehow think that in a Western world, somebody of the status of our Prime Minister who has a law firm in Finland, an active politician, an ex-serviceman in Finland, could be caged in such a way that he cannot even speak to his deputy. He can't even pass a message to the COS. You are deceiving yourself. And that shows how ignorant some of you are. But eventually, that is what we see today. It is obvious that whatever you are seeing happening today is bound to happen. But my joy is that the work that our Prime Minister have done did not get destroyed. It didn't stop. The job is still ongoing. The office of the Prime Minister is working effectively well as we speak. The office of the Prime Minister today being managed by Dr. Ngozi the Deputy Prime Minister, is working effectively well. And to help some of you who cannot digest simple information, to help some of you who are lazy to make inquiries and look through things, there is only one United States of Biafra. And that United States of Biafra is not just in the lips. It's not on the internet. It's not in word and shouting. It has been legally activated. The United States of Biafra is legally activated during our convention in Finland. I have told you time without number. Whenever you have time, go back and watch that convention in Finland. That is why each time I start my program, I take some clip from that convention and play to take back your memory where we are coming from. If you are a genuine Biafran and your senses are intact, there is no way you will fly all the way to Finland, spend your money and time and risk to go there and declare the restoration of Biafra, and you come back and you'll be talking again about Nigeria and what you have left. From the moment Biafra redistribution happens, we have moved forward. And that was why it became necessary that there has to be reshufflement everywhere. Everything has to be reshuffled. Not just the cabinet. Not just the cabinet. Our mindset, the way we do things, everything has to be changed. But eventually, some people could not be able to handle the change. And because they can't handle the change, they allow themselves to be abused and used against themselves. Because when you are working against Biafra and you're a Biafran, you are working against yourself. The only way you as a Biafran can make your choice is to ask yourself, who is in charge of that documents that legitimize the United States of Biafra? Who has that documents? If you can answer that question correctly, you have no reason to doubt yourself or to say you don't know where you belong. Remember, We are no longer in agitation. We are no longer in agitation. We are no longer in government in exile. We have been able to use the government in exile to redeclare the United States of Biafra. And from the moment the Biafrans gather together and activate the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra, and it was called the United States of Biafra, from that moment, everything that has to do with the government in exile ended. Our Prime Minister has put everything in place from A to Z. Every structure, the structure on how to go and how to get to Biafra have been put in place by the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. He has made it in such a way that all it takes is for somebody to be there and be opening the pages one after the other. Be opening the pages one after the other, carefully. The only thing that was requested is for you to obey instruction that comes right from the top to bottom. The same order that had been coming all this while. The only thing that was asked is follow the structure that had been put in place. If the structure was failing or wasn't achieving what it's meant to achieve, of course we get worried. We have the right to complain. But from every indication, the structure is achieving every single thing that it was meant to achieve. Some try to compare this with the time of the DOS and whatever. Some say, why do you have to obey the order when you did not obey during the time of the DOS? It is a different scenario. I want you to remember, during the time of the Department of Sabotage, the DOS, in their own time, every Biafran saw it clearly that they were doing nothing. For 8 good days, we had no answer about the whereabouts of our Prime Minister, of our Supreme Leader, Nandika. We had no clue. For 8 days, even after he was seen in Nigeria, we were looking for answers. I can bet you up till this moment, nobody was able to provide answer. What transpired? How did it happen? And who did who? Who did what? The major questions were not being answered in that era, and that is the difference. For this case, in this era, the office of the Prime Minister was still working and on top of the game. The Chief of Staff, who accurately is second in command and the closest to our Prime Minister, was able to nip the issue on the bud, gave message to the Biafrans and told them what is happening and what has happened. And her messages were excellent and straight. And what she did was to continue to run the government because everything that had put in place is still there. Everyone finally understood that the target was to stop the declaration of Biafra. Peradventure, if Biafra were not declared, we will say the office of the Prime Minister have failed. But everything still went smoothly. Got up to the extent of making the declaration even earlier than expected. All Biafran people need to do is to be happy that the effort people put was not in vain. The effort and price was not in vain. But instead of being happy and appreciate this leadership strength and wisdom, some individuals decided to attack that because they feel it is going to make them irrelevant. And that is where I say, if you are in this very Biafran struggle, if you're a Biafran preaching the gospel of Biafra, and you are doing it for your own personal interest to make yourself popular, you are going to run into trouble. I have said it that every one of us should take Biafra pursuit as our personal business. Do it that you are doing it for yourself. If you are in this struggle to advertise yourself and make yourself known, you will always fail. That is why I tell Biafrans, we should focus on building structure, not individuals. Build institutions. We should build institutions. If we can be able to build strong institutions, our problem will be solved completely. But eventually, there are people who prefer building cabals, building emperors and tyrants. They build strong men and women, and they leave their institution weak. And when you do that, you are setting yourself up for trouble. When you continue to build individuals without building institutions, you are setting yourself up for trouble. Just like what you are seeing today. Some people feel that it is their right to be in certain places, even when they know legally with the structure on the ground being placed by the office of the Prime Minister under the command of our Prime Minister, they know that they are nowhere near what they are claiming today. But I thank Chukwu that he knows all things and he has solution to all problems. My joy is that the office of the Prime Minister, Ekpa, is on top of all issues. We have only one government. That government today is on a high speed. Only that one government has the legitimate right to appear anywhere to represent Biafra. There is only one body that has the right, has the legal right to appear anywhere to represent Biafra. Every one of you saw when the United States of Biafra government came out on their very first fundraising, the lawyer was there and the lawyer made a speech. Some of us are not paying attention. We have gone past during the time of noise making, claiming what you are not, propagandas and blackmail. Just like Mazi Samuel said that if you think that Biafra is a game that you play, if you think that Biafra is just for fun, if it was like that before, it is no longer for fun. From the moment our Prime Minister came into the game, it is no longer a joke. That is why he is following every legal means possible. He is following every legal procedure to make sure that whatever he does and whatever step he takes is legitimate and legal. Today we are pursuing recognition. Recognition across the world. Just like the video I played yesterday, we have been recognized before. And we are definitely going to be recognized again. The only thing that they need, the countries who recognize before, the only thing they need for them to activate their recognition is for us to legalize the redeclaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra. That is all they are waiting for. And immediately we legalize it. All they need to do is to give their consent. So wherever you are watching me now, you owe the government of Mazi Samuel today under the Deputy Prime Minister DrNgoziOrabueze, you owe them your support. Whatever support you know you can give, Go and give that support. Nigeria is gone and gone forever. Today, we are in a different era. And in this era, no amount of propaganda or blackmail will stop the journey. It is forward ever and backward never. Those who are using the issue of the recognition as a propaganda or blackmail, you better stop. You better stop deceiving yourself. Those who are claiming that they went there and went there, you better stop. There is only one United States of Biafra. And the documents, the legal documents, is in the hand of only one person. The legal documents is in the hand of the Deputy Prime Minister, COS, interim. She has all the documents that legitimize the government of Biafra, the United States of Biafra. Do not forget that. There's no way you can know this and you say you are confused. Those who are using old pictures they took to distract Biafrans or using various handles, I want every Biafran to know that at this time that we are, it is not every platform that you will go and get information. You must be very careful where your information is coming from. Very, very important. You must be very careful where your information is coming from. All that glitters are not gold. All that glitters are not gold. So you must be very careful where your information is coming from. When we give these warnings, it is to avoid the confusion. When some people will come and say they are confused, they are confused, they are confused. The only thing that makes you to be confused is because you have not been paying attention. If you pay attention to what is going on, nobody is going to confuse you. Nobody. No matter how they try, they cannot confuse you. But when you are not following up, when you are listening to the wrong people, I bet you will even get more confused. I have always shown you the platform you have to follow if you want to get information. United States of Biafra have their own platform. The Deputy Prime Minister have a platform where you can see her on X. The Secretary for Information has her own platform. These are the places where you can get legitimate information about the United States of Biafra. Except you are searching for information about other issues. If you want to know issues about Biafra, there are only one place you need to go. And those places you need to go, I have shown you on this platform. United States of Biafra government on X. You are going to see the verified account. Or you follow the COS, DrNgoziOrabueze. You will equally see the verified account. And from there, you can be able to make your impact. My fellow Biafrans, we have come a long way. Do not allow yourself to be deceived. Do not throw away all the good work you have done. we have a very powerful enemy before us. And we know their strategies. You know their common language of hijack. They will always tell you that something is hijacked. And they are the ones who are the main people involved in act of hijacking of any program. But I tell you, in this era, we will never allow them. That is why Biafrans are making exploit and doing the needful. You must prepare your mind and prepare yourself. The battle has just begun. Don't allow anybody to bully you. Don't allow anybody to deceive you or confuse you. You must continue to pay attention to the truth and nothing but the truth. I want you to listen to this message from our supreme leader, Mazi Nandika.
And we are not going to stop. I want the world to understand me very clearly. We are not going to stop. It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter how many lives they extinguish. It doesn't matter the genocidal tendencies they bring with them into our land. We are not going to stop. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody remotely interested in justice and peace must understand this. Our destination is freedom, and that very place we're heading to is Biafra. And nobody, no soul on this earth can stop us. Instead of Biafra not to come, we all perish. I want our adversaries, our enemies to understand this very, very clearly. We are not going to retreat, not one iota, not 1 inch, because Biafra must come. Because the hatred has continued to this very day. As I'm speaking and addressing all of you right now, they are still arresting, extrajudicially murdering people in our land, people who are alien to our culture, our way of life, our tradition. They are in our land directing their people to slaughter, to kill without mercy. Unfortunately, those we regard as political leaders have connived with these people to ensure the decimation of their own population. That is the type of nonsense we can no longer condone. As you all know, there is no significant Fulani presence in our land because our fathers taught us how to fight. And we are doing so today without apologies to any idiot. We're not going to apologize because we have been apologizing for nearly 50 years. And we have not gotten anywhere in terms of our collective advancement and development in the damnable zoological republic called Nigeria. That is why we must know what we're doing. And that is why anybody who is remotely interested in the affairs of our people must understand this, that we are determined, doubly determined. 50 years, or should I say 54 years is a very long time, and 51 years since the end of the war. But now that we have come, or should I say now that God Almighty in heaven has determined that we should come, we are not going to relent. We are not going to do anything whatsoever to jeopardize the sanctity and the holiness of this very mission. We love our people. We love every ethnic nationality that makes up Nigeria as it is presently constituted. We have no hatred towards anybody. We love peace. We love life. We love the progress of other people. But we are in a country where people hate us for no reason, where people despise us for no reason. And we can no longer go on apologizing. And Nigeria as a state, the entire Africa as a continent must acknowledge. The same way they acknowledge the genocide in Rwanda, they must rise up to acknowledge the genocide in Biafra land, or else there will be no peace nor development in the whole of Africa. And I'm not saying it apologetically. I am stating a fact that ought to be forcefully demanded for. And Biafra itself must be restored for those who have come before us, for their sacrifice, for their courage, for their gallantry and their bravery. It is a very good thing today that one of the co-hosts here is our brother Dele, a man that I cherish and I appreciate very much. And also the very excellent work that Mazi is doing. But let us make this thing very, very clear. We are wronged by the Nigerian state, by every ethnic group in Nigeria. I know that my good friend and brother, Obadiah Mailafia rang me and apologized a while ago for the role that they played in the massacre of Biafran people, the role that they played in aiding and abating a very unlawful invasion of Biafra land, because all Ojukwu asked for was restructuring. The same thing we are arguing for today. Ojukwu went to Aburi to argue for restructuring. Ojukwu did not go to Aburi to declare any state of Biafra. He never went to Aburi to declare any war. Ojukwu went to Aburi so that all of us in Nigeria, including those from the Middle Belt, from the West, everywhere can have freedom. There's something we're asking for today. They twisted the narratives. They changed our history. They turned it upside down. They made us the villain. They tried to demonize our general, a man of peace that went to Aburi in Accra to go and in Ghana to go and negotiate for peace. A peace that Britain prevailed upon Gowon not to implement. But over the years, we've been taught that we are the aggressors. Such nonsense can no longer hold, it can no longer obtain, and that is why, as I said earlier, unapologetically, we are pursuing the freedom of Biafra, and nobody can stop us. Anybody on our path is going to fall, is going to die. Instead of Biafra not to come, every living organism in Nigeria will die, I swear to God Almighty in heaven, because we are not going back. It is a good thing today that some notable Nigerians are on this very platform discussing what transpired 54 years ago. Most have tweeted to say, may it not happen again. The only way to ensure that this will not happen again is the existence of a free, sovereign Biafran nation. That is the only panacea, nothing more, nothing less. Before we came here, Ladipo Market was on fire. These vandals and vagabonds are in our land, killing people relentlessly. As I'm talking to you right now, they headed some people from Enugu to God knows where, maybe to go and kill them. And you have governors, you have political leaders, you have those who aspire to high office. They're all there. Nobody's talking, nobody's speaking, because they have a lot to benefit and to gain by us being Fulani slaves. Something that can no longer continue. Something we are not prepared to tolerate. That was something I said rather very fortuitously very many years ago. I said during one of my broadcasts on Radio Biafra that for Nigerians to understand that God is upset with them, that every tribe in Nigeria, every ethnic group in Nigeria will experience what we passed through during the Biafran War, that they too will also become refugees. And today, there are IDP camps everywhere. People that thought they were safe before now are fleeing their homes. The same thing that happened to us between 1967 and 1970. And that is why our appreciation and our thanks for those men and women that fought to keep us safe can never, ever, ever be overestimated. We will continue to appreciate them. We shall continue to honor them. And I thank all of, those who are non-Biafrans. I understand that some people who are Biafrans came on this very platform and trying to play the script of their masters. That same divide and rule by saying there is something called Southeast and South-South. All bunkum. I have said it many times on many forums, on many platforms, that everybody in the East, we are all one people. I don't understand why people are hung up about this divide and rule of Gowon. It was Gowon that created Cross River State. Gowon created River State. Not because he loves the people of the South, not at all, but because he wanted to divide us. And we must rise up. We must rise up to the game of these people and say no to them. Now that Yoruba and Igbo are one, do you see them trying to play that game anymore? Now that Biafra and Oduduwa are one and inseparable, bonded together in one, do you see them playing their stupid games? I don't know why some people will come and say they're from Nigeria, they're from South-South, in order to perpetuate that very division, which the Fulanis have cleverly exploited over very many decades and many years. I don't know when we are going to learn. And the sooner we learn, the better for us. I thank all of you once again. And this very effort to recognize the genocide against Biafrans continues until the United Nations and the whole world rise up to this very challenge and acknowledge that a great deal of injustice was done to Biafrans. Tomorrow is our sit at home, complete.
My fellow Biafrans, you have heard our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a very clear statement and message sent. If you listen carefully from that message, you hear him talk about divide and rule. What you are seeing today is not far away from divide and rule. That is why I tell people, when you see certain things, don't be surprised. And I say there is nothing that is happening today that has not happened before. The only thing you need to do is to take your mind back and also make sure you stand on the right path. Nigeria is very good in creating anti. Whenever you create a genuine something, they create an artificial one to compete and destroy it. We have seen them play this script over and over again. During the NSAS that was meant for their one Nigeria, not for us, for them. They created another group to counter the NSAS. And at the end of the day, they claim it was hijacked and people lost their life. They came again in their hunger, protest, or whatever. The government created an anti-group. And at the end of the day, they were stopped. They say it was hijacked. Each time you make any move in Nigeria, even in that zoo, to make things better, they were going to create an anti. And we see it on video, on pictures. It's not something that is hard to identify. During the NSAS, we saw how they brought the hoodlums on stage with government official cars. But when we say these things, people don't understand. They are doing the same thing in the restoration of Biafra, but we outsmarted them as they are trying to do it to stop the declaration. The Biafrans, through the Deputy Prime Minister, the COS, Dr. Ngozi took a bold step and made sure that Biafra was declared. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu created ESN. The zoo created a different one. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established the IPOB. The zoo established the IPOB in Nigeria, hijacked it today and made it a political pressure group. And when they come to their media today, they will talk about IPOB wanting to make peace with them, IPOB wanting to work with them, IPOB is ready to work for them. And I ask you, which IPOB? You see the same IPOB of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Is it the same IPOB of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that we work with politicians? When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say it is impossible, it is over, it is either Biafra or death. But today, you see people who claim to be his disciple working for the zoo. They fought our Prime Minister Ekpa, they couldn't succeed. At this short period, our Prime Minister have gone to make a case for us. They have come again. They couldn't even wait. With a little chance, 2 days after our Prime Minister had the problem, they began to plan on how to overthrow him. And when they saw that Prime Minister already had a mapped out strategy, when they saw that Mazi Nnamdi had already put a plan on the ground, they had no choice. That is why they don't care. They know he's coming out, but they want to deceive as many people as they can before the appearance of the Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi, which is going to happen any moment from now as I'm speaking to you. Any moment from now, our Prime Minister will speak. These people today, they know that he's going to come. And they know the truth. But for one reason or the other, they have allowed themselves to be used and fight against something they protected in the past. They saw that Mazi Nnamdi was able to hold a very formidable group. In his absence, they saw a chance to execute their long plan. And today, you see somebody coming to tell you about some area that have passed. They want to create another parallel government for themselves. They want to create a directives. 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 They want to create a directivves. 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 They want to But I want every Biafran to know that we have one united state of Biafra. There are not two. And that is where we are. Only one united state of Biafra established by the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, under the command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And today, in the leadership of Deputy Prime Minister, the COS interim, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. It doesn't matter whether you like her or not. It doesn't matter whether you want her or not. Go and hug from farmer. The highest thing you can do is that if we are people who are genuine, if you are genuine and you don't like one thing or another, one thing you would have done is to have patience. Knowing fully well that the Prime Minister is coming, you have patience, not to jump online and begin to talk trash. But of course, because it was ordained to happen, so that we can separate the wheat from the chaff, it did happen. And today, everyone is seeing the truth. You can't run away from the truth. It doesn't matter how you try, you cannot run away from the truth. You can never, ever, ever run away from the truth. The truth is as pure as crystal. And the truthful people will always see it. Today, when we look at the things that are happening, look at the incidents that surrounding all the things that are happening, all you need to do is to thank Chukwu Okike Abiama for making it happen when it happened. The office of the Prime Minister has never ever disappointed Biafra, and they will not disappoint Biafra. Including the men on the ground. They are being properly taken care of. If you claim to be a man on the ground and you are suffering, just know that you're in the wrong hand. If you are claiming to be the man on the ground and you are not doing what you're supposed to do, it means you're in the wrong hand. The government of Biafra have made provision for people who are on the genuine side. Remember, as I said, the zoo created anti-ESN. They created their own. They created their own. They infiltrated ESN. And so many lives were lost. They transformed them into AVG. The Bubago and Co. And they told us online, in a public broadcast, they said it. Today, they are trying to enter into the Biafran Liberation Army, but they will not succeed. The Biafran Liberation Army are intact. The enemy will not succeed in entering in between them. They will never. So, my fellow Biafrans, you must stay strong and continue to pray for them wherever you are. The international recognition is oncoming. And because the government of Biafra, United States of Biafra, is talking about recognition, some ignorant people will also go out and begin to talk. Oh, they went there and will. Ask them, you went there with which documents? Anybody that claims to be working for Biafra on international ground, on recognition, ask them, based on which documents? Based on which government? Every one of us know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a deputy. If you don't want to call her deputy, he has a COS that Biafran people have chosen that is working with him. And she is the closest person to him. If you don't trust her directives, you don't trust what she says, it means you are equally telling us you don't trust Mazi Simon. If you do not trust the judgment of Mazi Simon by choosing her in that position, it means you never trusted him. And that is why you saw an opportunity and you unleash your terrorists. But I bet you it is not going to be an easy game. It is not going to be an easy game. Whatever you are doing now, you are definitely going to pay for it when the time comes. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you think. Whatever you sow is what you will reap. You cannot sow yam and you reap cassava. You cannot sow cassava and you reap cocoyam. What you sow is what you're going to reap. Ask yourself, what are you sowing today? The international moves are going on today. The Biafran government is making great move internationally to seek for recognition. And let us go to the platform of the Biafran government to know the updates they have. This is the platform of the government of Biafra. You can see it's written, United States of Biafra government. Every information you see here is authentic. So those of you who have their smartphone, all you need to do is to follow the group. Every morning you go there, you will see the latest. If there's anything happening, you're going to see it there. I would like to read this out. This one said, watch out for United States of Biafra foreign policy. This is where we are today. This is where we are today. Recognition. Posted by the government of Biafra. He said, watch out for United States of Biafra foreign policy. And I read, it goes on. The USB foreign relation under the Department of States, amongst other projects, are now working on a pathway as to the need to tackle the fragile security situation in Sahel region due to the influx of terrorists that has destabilized economic activities, disruption of global trade, and has resulted in catastrophic loss of human lives. The territorial integrity of United States of Biafra remains our priority. Without tackling the security challenges in the Sahel region, it will be very difficult to achieve any meaningful economic stability to enable an enhanced global trade. Tackling these security challenges begins from the Biafra territory. The United States of Biafra will provide an enabling ground for global economic prosperity. We aim to stabilize the competitiveness of global interest in Africa. There is room for all friends of Biafra. The USB Foreign Relations under the Department of State will soon unveil the foreign policy of the United States of Biafra. As we look forward to welcome the new administrator of President Donald Trump, we are continuously working on avenues to broaden the activities of the government of the United States of Biafra, which will in return attract recognition for the nation. Our major path to recognition will be focused on the territorial integrity of the United States of Biafra. Our allies are keen on how the USB government are able to deal with its insecurity challenges caused by the influx of terrorists in military uniform from Nigeria. Our doors are open to the friends of Biafra. This is information coming from the platform of the government, and every one of us, I hope you are following this platform, because information is power, information is key. Whatever you are doing, you must make sure you are informed. So, my fellow Biafrans, we must continue, because seeking for recognition is not an easy job. It's a very strong work that will need movement from one place to the other. That is why every one of us must rise up and do the needful. Something like today will be the last fundraising for the year. The last fundraising for the year, you are supposed to be there. Every one of us is supposed to be there in preparation for the Christmas. The fundraising will be done today, and to resume again from January. Come and celebrate Christmas for the United States of Biafra. Come and give the United States of Biafra the Christmas gifts. The United States of Biafra deserves it. a new nation that has been born. He deserves all the care, all the love. I hope every one of us is going to join today to celebrate the United States of Biafra on today's fundraising. Very, very important. We have come a long way and Biafra have been declared. There is no going back. If you think that Biafra will go back, think again. Just like the Supreme Court said, it is too late. It is too late. And he also had our Deputy Prime Minister say it during the convention that it's too late. We cannot go back to either your restructuring or your regional government. All we want is total and absolute independence. Absolute independence. And I hope you understand that. I want you to watch this, to take your memory back where we are coming from. Let us hear from our Prime Minister, our Supreme Leader, Mazen Nandekan. One of the messages he delivered when he was interviewed. I always love to play this very clip because it has information packed in it. After watching this video, you ask yourself, if Mazen Nandekan comes out and he's actually, what will he be feeling? This is a video you watch and you understand that every lie they are telling against Mazen Nandekan is not true. Mazen Nandekan is a very sensible person. He can read people and he understands. And he's a good man here. My fellow Biafrans, I really, really appreciate every one of you. And I want you to listen to this very interview. It is important.
What does Biafra mean?
It means freedom, liberty, fairness, equity, and justice.
In practical terms, these are very good sounding words, but in practical terms, what does Biafra mean?
Confederation.
So, a weak center,
very weak,
very strong regions.
Absolutely.
Have you had a change of mind, therefore, about getting an independent Biafra? Because that's what I seem to be hearing.
No, I've not changed my mind, no. And independent Biafra means going back to where we were before the white man came.
Okay, so you're not talking about a federation when you say a confederation. You're not talking about a federation as part of Nigeria. You're talking about total independence.
Absolute independence.
Complete independence. Now, is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So it is either Biafra or nothing else?
Or death, yes.
Or death?
That's correct.
If push comes to shove,
yes,
will you go to war?
No, because truth is a far more potent and deadlier weapon than bullets and mortars.
So truth. No war? You've ruled out the...
Absolutely, I don't believe in war, no. No war. When I say Biafra ordered it, I'll keep pushing. Either I am alive, I die in the process, I won't stop. Allow me to repeat, if you don't mind. Had sovereign national conference been convened by the powers that be, where every ethnic nation, I said every, I don't care if there are 600, I don't care. Everyone is
all the 500 plus.
Everyone together to say, this is all, others can delegate, I don't know, powers to other people to attend on their behalf. Sit down to say, what type of country do we want? Sit down, discuss, agree. I can begin to perhaps submit to your position.
Is it too late?
It is way too late. They've killed too many people. They've ruined too many lives. They've wasted too many souls. How do we bring those people back?
If the federal government, given the agitation that is going on, becomes convinced that, you know what, these people have a point, it is time to actually address all these issues, and they begin to systematically address some of these issues, would you change your mind?
No, because of the deceptions of the past.
No trust?
No trust. Aburi was there, it was negotiated. Nothing happened. 1968, if I recall. And the confab report, what became of it? How about the 3 R's? Reconciliation, reconstruction, and heaven knows what else. What became of them? Nothing. Calabar Seaport is not working. Can you tell me why it's not working? It's a seaport.
used by the colonial masters. Why is it not working today? How about Iguacha seaport? Why is it not being used? Why not worry? Why must we allow only Lagos to function as a viable seaport? In England, where I used to live, you had Liverpool, you had the Sun, which is Portsmouth, Southampton, everywhere. You had harbors and ports. So why must you have only one?
I've heard people say these are very valid arguments, and that these are things that are to do with bad governance. So the average Biafran, to use your phrase, or Igbo man in the Igbo, is facing poverty much in the same way that the average guy in Yobe State is facing poverty. And so these are issues of governance. You don't agree with that?
I agree completely.
Okay. So if that is it, why isn't the agitation about tackling the problem, which is ensuring good governance, perhaps starting from locally? Because part of the allegations against you is that you don't confront your political leaders in the East, and you'd like to blame Abuja for everything.
Because the way I would want to solve a problem is not how a Fulani man would want to solve it.
You really believe this is an ethnic thing, and the approach is different?
No, the approach is different. No, it's not ethnic. It is more to do with value system.
Right.
The way you may want to solve a problem could be markedly different from how I do mine.
What is the geographical makeup of Biafra, as far as you are concerned, this Biafra that you want? So for example, if we're doing a referendum, where will that referendum take place? Is it only the 5?
It's on, no.
It's okay.
It's on, which is River State, Bayelsa, Delta, Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Cross River.
Akwa Ibom?
And Akwa Ibom, of course.
Right.
Those are the coasters. Basically.
Bayelsa?
Yes. Southeast and South-South without Edo State.
Without Edo State.
That's correct. And then including Igede, Idoma.
Right, the Benues. So the Igalas and part of the Kogi State, right?
Yeah.
Nyosom Wike, the governor of Anambra, sorry, the governor of River State, made a statement, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, and said, you know, you should not be including River State
it's for
and the
River State to decide,
people.
not him. I can decide for Biafrans. You have to go and vote and convince the whole world that they want Biafra. It's not for instance, there's only one man, one vote.
What if they're not even willing to take part?
My supporters!
Because I've had people from the South, for example, from Bayelsa. I've had people from Cross River. I think there's a famous actress, Kate Henshaw, for example, wrote a long piece about why people of the South don't want to be dragged into a place called Biafra. You're saying, regardless of what they say, you want a referendum in those parts?
Because I know the majority of the people want a referendum. I was in Iguacha yesterday.
How do you know?
In the United States.
I was in Iguacha yesterday. You call Port Harcourt. I was there yesterday. I should have been there to see what happened.
Now,
they were delighted to see me. I'm sure you know that. It's all over the place. They're very happy to see me. I bet Kate Henshaw wouldn't get such reception. Where she to go to?
She's a big, popular Nollywood actress. I wouldn't necessarily.
I'm telling you, if I go to her village, people will turn out to see me more than turn out to see her.
Unioya, Abakare, Mama Naora, Unapuri Mary Nandi, win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nandi, win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nandi bu onye du aimo o meri woni nizu ngiro ya Abakare mamanda ora unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapuri meri Nandi.
Welcome back. We just had a very short break. My fellow Biafrans, all this very information are to let you know that we are not going back. We are moving forward. You can see our Supreme Namazin Nandi Kano there making a case for Biafra, and he made it clear that it is either Biafra or that. It is either he succeeds in getting Biafra or he dies in the process of fighting for Biafra. It is very clear and simple. When they ask him if there is something that will be offered to him, he said, nothing. When they ask him, will there anything that will be offered to you, and you now agree and say, okay, let us now try it in the other way. He said, it is too late. There is nothing you can give him to make him to go back in pursuit of Biafra. And our Prime Minister, Mazi Samuel Ekpa, was also asked similar question. And he also responded and said nothing. Nothing will stop him. Let us listen to this very question that was asked to our Prime Minister in one of the programs.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we are glad to have you. Thank you. I have just two questions. Number one is there anything that can be given to you that we offer you, or that they can be promised to you that will make you change your mind about Biafran restoration come 2nd of December? Is there any gift, any promise, anything that can give you for exchange? That is number one. Number two, the people we have today as political leaders in Biafra territory, after December 2nd, what will be their fate? Let me stop in these two.
Listen to the rest.
Yeah, sorry, because as I'm listening to you, I am also writing update, because today I live, or in these days I live 72 hours a day. Why average person have 24 hours? I live 72. So I do many things at a time. So you talked about what we're going to do to those politicians who have been fighting against the Biafra struggle, right? Was that your question?
Yes, that's my question, sir. Exactly.
All right.
I say, what are we going to do with these politicians that have held bent in serving the zoo and continue to do so on the 2nd of December? What are we going to do to them? And the other one is there anything that can be given to you for exchange, or for you to drop the vision or the aim to have Biafran independent come 2nd December?
I want you to understand our slogan have changed. Our slogan is freedom or die. And let me make it very clear that when we say freedom or die, it is not about Simon Ekpa. I will be here to finish this war and this fight that I have started. One thing is that anybody that is thinking that Simon Ekpa is going to compromise, the person have not been, I don't think that person have been born. Simon Ekpa will be the last person to even think about compromising or discussing with anybody anything that is not the freedom of Biafra. And like I said, any day I discuss with anybody, instead of discussing the Biafra freedom, I discuss for my interest. the spirit of my mother will slap me deaf and dumb.
I hope you heard that. When our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, was asked, is there anything that will be given to you to walk away from Biafra? Is there any way they can bribe you? Is there anything they can do you? Is there anything can done to you and you will say you're not the one fighting? He said, any day he contemplates or go for any mission except for Biafra, enter into any discussion with any country except for Biafra, that day the spirit of his mother will slap him dead. I want you to hear it directly from him for you to understand the seriousness of where we are and who you are following. Pay attention.
Instead of discussing the Biafra freedom, I discuss for my interest, or discussing with anybody anything that is not the freedom of Biafra. And like I said, any day I discuss with anybody, instead of discussing the Biafra freedom, I discuss for my interest. The spirit of my mother will slap me deaf and dumb. People don't know how I managed to come to do what I'm doing today. And like I said, I will remain a mystery. There is something powerful force that I can never go against. So any day that I do something that is not for the interest of Biafra and how Biafra will come, the spirit of my mother will slap me deaf and dumb. I think that is the highest thing that will happen to somebody before the person dies. So issue of Simon Ekpa compromising or collecting anything shouldn't come to anybody's mind. And those who have worked very closely with me will understand what I'm saying. Having said that, those who say they are not going to stay alive and see Biafra come, you see they are dying one after the other. So the politicians you are talking about, you should be talking about if they are alive till then. So those who make it alive will be treated in accordance with the Biafra law, the law of Biafra and the constitution of Biafra. So what the law says about the politicians who fought against the freedom of Biafra will take its course, not what Simon Ekpa say. So the law of Biafra will be designed based on the experience we have, based on what we went through in the process of our freedom, and on that ground, those that will write the constitution of Biafra will design it in a way that they will touch those who have fought against us, especially those who fall into the categories of politicians who are hell-bent to serve Nigeria, not Simon Ekpa. But of course, the law of Biafra will take its course, and the law enforcement agency of Biafra land will make sure that they uphold the law of Biafra, and those who found wanting will serve, will given the punishment they deserve in accordance with the Biafra constitution, the Biafra law. Thank you very much.
You have heard from our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, responding to a very important question, that he will never give up on the fight of Biafra. Any day he does, the spirit of his mother will slap him deaf and dumb. And he went ahead to say that anybody that is working against Biafra, whether politician or non-politician, it doesn't matter the post you are holding, and you go against Biafra, the law of Biafra will catch up with you. You are going to face the full wrath of the law. There will be no forgiveness. So wherever you are today and what you are doing, be very careful. Be very, very careful. Whatever you are doing today is up to you. The choice you make is up to you. There will be consequences for every single action you take today in this restoration of Biafra. Follow the templates that is put in place by the Prime Minister. And today, that template is being run by Dr. NgoziOrabueze, the Deputy Prime Minister, COS interim. She is in that position today, running the affair. Following, all she's doing is to open the pages. Whenever you get to that page, you open it up. And if you think that the Prime Minister is not watching, then you don't know him. If you think that the Prime Minister is not seeing all this drama, you don't know him. And if you think that the Prime Minister is not communicating with his right-hand person, you don't know him. You don't know our Prime Minister. That is why when I look at people, I laugh. Somebody Prime Minister has chosen as a surrogate, given her authorities and power. Even while he was here, he was delegating. And so many of these people who are fighting today were appointed by her. Go and check their letter of appointment. Some of them didn't look at the letter of appointment. There was a letter, an agreement signed by everybody that was working under the government of Biafra, the Brigade government. Every single person signed an oath of allegiance. Go and check that oath of allegiance and read it carefully. Those of you who are talking about that charter, go there and read that oath you signed first of all. But unfortunately, they will not. But I'm happy that the Biafran government is on the top of the game. Every single thing laid down by Prime Minister, that is what the Biafran government is following today. And I want to remind you of what are the messages delivered by a Prime Minister when he told us what to expect after the declaration of Biafra, what to expect. Now, when you read this and see this, you will understand that the Deputy Prime Minister, Ekpa, Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, is on top of the game. Let us hear this message from our Prime Minister,
I want every one of you to remember these three words. Nigerians, we are no more. Southeasterners and Southerners, we cannot become. And Biafrans, we must be. What are the declaration of the 2nd December meant to achieve? At least it is no longer a question of uncertainty. It is no longer a question of whether we are unsure. But I believe the message of the declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra on the 2nd of December 2024 has penetrated even to the bone marrow of the enemies. So the question and the big question is, what do we intend to achieve? They have mocked us that we are in exile. But what the truth that they are not telling themselves is that we are not only in exile. We are actually more in the homeland than what we are in exile. The truth, they refuse.
You heard what our Prime Minister said, but do you know that some people today are still telling us that we are in exile? Some people today, even people who claim to be working with Mazi Samuel, they prefer to say that they are in exile. They even deassociate themselves from being on the ground. You know, sometimes it is good. We pay attention to words. We go back and listen to things that were said in the past for us to understand and know those who are truly following.
The truth that they are not telling themselves is that we are not only in exile. We are actually more in the homeland than what we are in exile. The truth they refuse to tell, which they continue to deceive themselves, is that every blessed Monday in Biafra land, we demonstrate that we are not just in exile. We also control the homeland. The truth they have not told you is that whenever we issue any declaration on either civil disobedience or the forceful lockdown of the Nigeria state institution in Biafra land, like we have declared from the 28th day of this August to the 26th of September, those who call us government, those who say we are in exile, will start crying. They will start all manner of propaganda, panicking, sending military terrorists in our land to try to, see whether we can change our mind, thinking that by killing our people, the pressure will, force us to change our mind. These are the things
that they are not telling those gullible, idiot criminals in Nigeria that are believing in one Nigeria just because they have found themselves in a safe haven where they can commit crimes, international crimes and cyber crimes, and they will be bragging in their various communities for making money through crime. So they lie to themselves that, oh, don't listen to him, they are just in exile. Yet, each time we make any pronouncement, it becomes a problem to them. So the big question is, what do we intend to achieve from the 2nd of December? My supporters in the United States, Biafrans in the United States, we have at least 2 objectives. We want to achieve 2 things from this 2nd of December declaration. These 2 things are the delegitimization of the Nigeria state within Biafra land and the legitimization of Biafra government within Biafra land and beyond. Our declaration will cover all grievances against Nigeria, the injustices against Biafra people by the Nigeria state, the harms suffered by the Biafra people within Nigeria. This has a standard way of delegitimizing Nigeria as an existing state and, of course, legitimizing Biafra as a new independent state. These grievances, the Biafra government have constituted a committee called the Declaration Drafting Committee that is putting and penning down every grievances we have against Nigeria. And there is the latest one, which is the student loan. Many of you have seen in the news that they have approved a student loan from every geopolitical zone, but they excluded Southeast, part of Biafra. That is technically accepting partially the declaration that is coming on 2nd of December. They're already telling us to go. But what they have refused to understand is that they don't define our map. We define our map. It is not them. They are still using the colonial mentality of giving them the demography, changing the demography for them. This is 21st century, where the people are wise and we know our boundaries. We know our land. You don't tell us where our land is and come from Yoruba land to tell us where your boundary ends, or come from the Fulani Caliphate to tell us where your boundary end, our boundary end. No, that was then. During the time of Usman Danfodio and during the time of Babangida, where you use your military degree to do whatever you want. This time around, it is not going to work like that. We know our boundary. Our boundary has been defined by the Biafra government. Our state and institutions has also been put in place by the Biafra government. So our declaration is going to state very clearly the grievances we have against Nigeria, why Biafra has come to become a remedy. Now, I use instances always, making references to the United States. Just as in the 1776 of the U.S. Declaration, when they become a new state, then they presented this particular new state of the United States as the only remedy, the listed grievances for them to declare the independence of the United States. Biafra will be presented to the world as the only remedy to the insecurity that Nigeria has created in quest to bring the Islamization of Nigeria and, of course, that turn Nigeria into Islamic State. We are going to present Biafra government as a remedy to the United States, to the West, and to every other world power that cares to know. Part of the grievances will be the killings by the terrorists and the high-level corruption and political crisis that Nigeria has found itself today without any solution. Since the last election, which the European Union condemned, which the United Nations condemned, which the America condemned, and faulted everything that has to do with the result of the last election. Yet, they are recognizing the criminal who called himself Tinubu as the president. Because Nigerians are stupid. Nobody rise up against, because everybody have been captured and enslaved with terrorism. If you do the killing, the assassinating. That's why many of them are bragging. Whenever we talk, they say, Samanaka, come to Nigeria so we believe you. Do you know why? Because they think that we are going to be as stupid as those people that have killed in the past. Kensaro Wiwa, should we start mentioning them? Anybody that rise up to challenge the impunity of the Nigerian state, the terrorist state, they eliminate the person. What is the other name? The Yoruba man, Gani Kfawemi or whatever he's called. He was assassinated. These are people who think they can make changes within the Nigerian state. It's impossible. Even this criminal called Tinubu, he ran away. He would have been killed by the military administration then, because he thought that he can move, have any political movement, to change whatever he want to change then, before he came back to become the governor. He ran away to exile, and probably France, because I know he has a very good relationship with people in France. Now, just like the United States, we are going to present Biafra after 2nd of December as the only remedy to the political crisis in Nigeria today. We will present Biafra as the only remedy to the upsurge of terrorists in the Sahel. I am telling you, nobody will see what we are doing.
This is what we are supposed to be busy doing today. And this is what the government of Ngozi Simon Ekpa under Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is doing. Presenting Biafra as the only remedy to save the people in that zoological republic. The only remedy to save the world. The only remedy to save West Africa. The only remedy to save Africa. This is what we are supposed to be doing today, as stated by our Prime Minister, Ngozi Simon Ekpa, and that is what Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is following. That is why she has delegated assignments to different offices of the world. The Foreign Affairs Secretary is already sending messages and letters to everywhere. She has included also visiting those who have recognized us in the past, presenting Biafra as the only remedy to save life and properties of people in that contraption called Nigeria, as stated by our Prime Minister, as we have put in our grievances. But unfortunately, some people are trying to distract her from that job. They are trying to distract her up to the extent of hacking her own email account. That is how desperate they are. It is sad. But that will not stop us. The enemies went to the extent of hacking her own email, hacking the email of the European rep, hack the email of our Prime Minister, in order to truncate this very thing that Ngozi Simon Ekpa said, presenting Biafra as a remedy to the United Nations, to the United States, to other countries of the world. A remedy to save humanity in the zoo. A remedy for peace, security, and lawfulness. Let's hear him.
Today, as a government in exile, and don't give us that particular opportunity. We have proven beyond reasonable doubt that as Nigeria as a failed state, the only remedy that will save the life of people and also save the interests of the West, because no matter how you want to say it, we still have to protect the interests of the West, which goes a very long way in making sure that our society still remain in a sane, we still remain in a sane society.
Absolutely.
Both in conflict-wise, insecurity-wise, national security, and what have you. So, Nigeria no longer function as a law-governed state, capable of resolving its current political and economic crisis. My people of Biafra, our declaration in December is providing a remedy, providing alternative to the Biafra people and to the world, and to those who have business interests in the area
in Sahel area, Sahel region, and in Nigeria as a whole, because this is going to affect them positively. So Nigeria have found itself in a situation where they have become incapacitated. They are not capable of resolving every crisis that they are facing today. So the state is already a failed state. So what are we going to do in December 2nd? Our declaration will offer solution. And like I said, remedy to the economic crisis, to the insecurity, to the upsurge of terrorism, and what have you. And we believe that those who supported Nigeria to commit genocide against Biafrans in the 60s must be very ashamed of themselves today.
Absolutely.
Though we can see that many of them who are very corrupt, I am talking about those in America, for example, like, you know, some of them we have seen removing Nigeria from the list of, you know, a special interest of a state that you know, have committed crime against Christians, for example. Those who remove Nigeria without investigation, you know, they are struggling very hard, trying not to look stupid by their continuous support for the Nigeria, even when they knew that Nigeria is already a failed state. The more they try to revive Nigeria, following their fake diplomatic ties, and the more Nigeria will continue to fail them. So, my people, there is no two ways about it. This time around, we have come to outsmart the nomadic system of Nigeria. And of course, our aim and objective is to bring and restore true democracy in Biafra land, which will affect the entire region. After December 2nd, we will move to the next level, which I call...
Listing the next level where we are today. I want you to pay attention. Everyone that is watching this program, listen to what our Prime Minister said, the next level. Listen exactly where our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. NgoziOrabueze, is taking us to. Listen carefully. When we say that the template has been there from A to Z, this is it. Listen. The next level after the declaration of the independent state of the United States of Biafra, the next level.
The phase 2 of the Biafra liberation, which this phase 2 will see the establishment and activation of the state institution within Biafra land, which is already functional as I speak. That will take over the Nigeria state functions, will take over the functions of other institutions from the Nigeria state, and that is the part of the delegitimization of Nigeria. And by announcing the United States of Biafra commitment to several international sanctioned principles, policies, and international recognized organization that Nigeria never had, we are going to make sure we approach every international organization that Nigeria has violated their treaties with impunity, providing Biafra to them and presenting Biafra as a remedy and alternative.
Exactly
what we have done so far, we have been able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that you can't forge any document in Biafra and present it anywhere. We have eliminated the possibility to forge document, unlike the runners and all the criminals in Yoruba land are doing. That's what they do. They make a living.
That is why some group today, because they know they cannot forge any documents against the United States of Biafra, they went and hacked the email of our Deputy Prime Minister. They went and hacked her email, hacked the email of the European rep, hacked the email of our Prime Minister in order to get their hand on documents. But at Chukwu will have it. The Biafran government is on top of the game. And letters have been submitted in place they are supposed to submit. All the places that the office of the Prime Minister is supposed to submit letters on behalf of us, just as Prime Minister have said, they have been done and it's still ongoing.
By forgery. So my people in the United States, for those who are very, very unsure of what will happen after December 2nd, I am telling you now, giving you a hint. Our declaration of independence or declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra will be expected to legitimize the Biafra government in the eye of other non-terrorist states. This is going to take a very long time, and it requires many diplomatic approach, political
approach. That is what is going on as we speak. Our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi spoke about this very thing on her last broadcast. So when I tell you, it only takes you to look at the template of the person on top, to look at what she's bringing forward, you will understand that she's sitting on the template of Mazi Simon Ekpa. There is nothing she's doing on her own. It is the template, just as she said. Mazi Simon Ekpa have put everything in place from A to Z. It is only opening the page one after the other. All you need to do as a Biafran is to pay attention to her. Follow up. Every page that is opened, we support it, we promote it, and we speak about it. That is what we are supposed to be doing. Not bashing her, not talking down on her, not attacking her office. All we need to do is to encourage that office as much as we can and to make sure that our voice is heard across the world and we get the recognition that we deserve.
Political approach. And of course, it also requires commitment from the Biafra government, which I believe we are not shaking from that end. In turn, we will be expected to recognize Biafra, and we don't care how long this will take. This kind of legitimization of Biafra state will be culminated in the quest or in our request or appeal to other states and international organizations to recognize the independence of Biafra. Our grievances that we expected to be listed on the declaration document has been drafted or has been drafted by our committee on the declaration of the declaration drafting committee will include the grievance declaration, the institutionalizing declaration, and the commitment declaration. I want you all in the United States to listen to this. Very, very important. We are going to have 3 major grievances in our declaration document. And so, if you don't know what we are doing, we are fighting Nigeria academically, we are fighting Nigeria with brain, we are fighting Nigeria physically, and we are fighting Nigeria with gun. So let me repeat it again. I said, the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra will cover 3 major grievances. One is grievances declaration, institutionalizing declaration, and the commitment declaration. And this different declaration will be elaborated during the time of our convention in Finland. So when you come to Finland, you're going to have first-hand information, and you are going to read the history, be part of the history, and stay where the history is happening. So that you will not say they told you, or you will not say you watch it from the social media. No, you are going to be there. Those who are privileged to come to Finland, you will be there to witness this thing yourself, how it is done. So, and then after that, you know, when I made a video the other day to explain to Biafrans who will be expecting that immediately after the declaration, the police will disappear from Biafra, no, the military will disappear. Of course, most of them use it to do propaganda, which doesn't move us. Because the thing is...
Exactly. All these things we explained before now, because some people are still asking, oh, there is still police everywhere. There is still... You heard our Prime Minister explain it beforehand. And I played this video over and over. But still, up to today, some people are still confused. Everything is a process, one at a time. It's a gradual process before they will all leave our land, and
they don't know what we are doing. They don't have the information, and they will never have the information. And even if they do, they will never support Biafra. And we don't expect everybody to support Biafra. Like I've said previously, even this Finland, when they voted 88 over 100, you know how many that voted for Finland Declaration of Independence. So what I'm trying to say is that the United States, those Biafrans in the United States, all of you must understand that the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra in December is going to come with a heavy Edoakanono. To the enemies, both the outside and within. And so we are going to be taking a little bit step forward,
both outside and within,
to the Idoakanano that is happening presently. It is a must.
It is happening.
To those who think that Simon Ekpa is laughing at them or laughing with them, my brother, don't look at this laugh and this face. I have always warned,
it is happening.
If you follow this face, you'll be deceived. I am not here with a clean eye, fighting for Biafra, fighting against Nigeria Islamic State, fighting against the terrorist state of Nigeria, Ejira Anyoma, and Osa Nigeria. Don't look this face, it will deceive you. I want to assure you that in the coming weeks on this lockdown of Nigeria institution, is going to be a litmus test.
My fellow Biafrans, I just played this to refresh our memories for us to know where we are coming from. Every single thing that the Deputy Prime Minister is doing today is in order, following the laid down foundation by our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. The only thing that the Deputy Prime Minister is doing today is to open the pages for us, one after the other, because she is on top of the authority. She was there when the plan was made. And if you think that our Prime Minister is not communicating with his office, you are a joker. You are deceiving yourself. Finland is not Nigeria. Finland is not Africa. If you think that information are not coming across to the right person, the Deputy Prime Minister, from our Prime Minister, you are a joker. Wait, in a few days' time, you will know the mistakes you have made. In a few days' time, you will realize if you have made mistake or if you have made the right choice. Our Prime Minister for a long time have talked about mental toughness. Mental toughness. The time came, many fell aside. But I bet you, there is no stopping. I appreciate everyone that participated on this program. I am going to stop here. Later in the day, I am going to have a program in Linda TV show by, I think it's going to be by 2 p.m. to be precise. 2 p.m. I'm going to be in Linda TV show. I want you to join us there. We're going to have a program there. We have a lot of programs to attend today, so I can't go more than this. I have to stop the program here so that I can prepare myself for other programs that are coming. So I'm going to be on Linda TV show by 2 p.m. by the grace of Chukwu. So please try and join us on Linda TV show for that program and also help to share it across. Wherever you are, stay focused. Don't get distracted. Remember, we have fundraising today. Come to that fundraising. This is the last fundraising for the year. The last fundraising for the year. Come to that fundraising. Everybody must be on that fundraising. Come and do Christmas for the United States of Biafra. Come and celebrate Christmas for the United States of Biafra. It is time. Come there and give your Christmas gift to the United States of Biafra. The newborn baby. The newborn baby. That baby needs milk. He needs water. Today is the last day that fundraising is going to be done for the year, until next year. Every one of us must be there. Informations are going to come. Things are going to happen on that fundraising. Don't miss it. Don't say you're not told. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect every one of us. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect our Deputy Prime Minister, the COS interim, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiyama will continue to guide and protect her, secure her. We pray for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, for guidance, protections, and provision. We pray also for our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for divine strength, healing. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiyama will continue to lead us wherever we go until we get to our destination. No weapon formed or fashioned against us as Biafrans shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, shall prosper. Thank you for being part of this program, and I will see you again later on. Please join us on Linda TV show by 2 p.m. I'm going to be there for your program. Thank you and stay blessed. See you next time. Be on that fundraising. Don't miss it.
Unless you understand your role in society, you can never ever make any meaningful contribution. According to the Greeks, there are three types of people on this earth: the idiots, the tribesmen, and the citizens. People don't know the meaning of the word idiot. They think it's an insult. It's not an insult. When the Greeks used the word idiots, They did not use it as a curse word. Idiots are people who just do not care. That is the original meaning of the word. If they write exams, they will cheat. If they are in government, they will steal. An idiot does not care at all. If he eats banana, he throws the peel anywhere instead of putting it in a trash can. According to the Greeks, some societies have more idiots than tribesmen and citizens. As I used to say before, Nigeria is full of idiots. Idiots.
All of us Biafrans in the British cabinet, the Fundraising homeland, the Biafran liberation forces, the Biafran army, we have vowed in our life. We are going to continue this same call, this same place that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has. Nobody will stop that. I want to let Biafrans know that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has set all the structures in place for Biafra restoration from the beginning to the end. Again, we are going to let them know, we're going to let our women know that nobody has the right to demean women in the United States of Biafra. When we all here have heard people use comments like, yes, like that, that shows us, even though it hurts, but that shows even the average Biafran and women that are following our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, that is out of bounds, that they've crossed the red line. And when anything that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa cannot say, and you have some mediocres, that's what I call them, using words to demean our women, using words that are below par to refer to any Biafran woman, I know that our Prime Minister will throw them in the trash can. And that is what we are going to do. So again, we hear that message. Biafran men and women hear that ugly message from those that claim they are following our Prime Minister. Meanwhile, they were planted to destroy what we are doing. And it is the task of each and every one of us here to make sure that Biafra land is a land where respect for men and women exists. Respect, equity, justice, inequality exists. That is what the United States of Biafra is going to stand for. Anybody following individuals that believe that therefore cannot talk to them, those crop of individuals do not belong to the current Biafra we are building. Nobody will bring them near. Not why some of us are here. So I'm going to get back in touch with you or give me a call in the next 24 to 48 hours. And we already have a plan in place. Our young men and women, nobody will demean you. Nobody will demean you. You all saw our attorney who confirmed our redeclaration. She's a young lady like some of you, and she knows what is playing out. She stood in Finland and declared that this generation, the next generation, can never, ever be undermined by any individual who believes because he is a man, he can undermine the woman in Biafra land. That will never happen. We will chase them so far from the leadership of this United States of Biafra. Thank you so much. Only one under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. And we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who is following our Prime Minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So this moment is ordained to happen. so that Biafrans will know who is who in this restoration process. So on that note, I welcome everyone to this fundraising. The finance department is going to figure out if our fundraising is going to be weekly fundraising, is going to be bi-monthly fundraising. That information is going to come to us as quickly as possible. We must maintain, we must continue to do whatever our Prime Minister wants us to do to raise the money we need to source to fund our struggle. And we will continue to do that without adding any extra stress on Biafrans in any form or shape. That is why the finance and budgeting department will take it from there and inform us appropriately when our fundraising is going to be going on. So on that note, I welcome everyone. And we are going to declare this fundraising for the United States of Biafra open. Again, like I've said, there's only one instruction, one order. There's only one place. The legitimate fundraising for the United States of Biafra, Briggy, under His Excellency Simon Ekpa, will go today. And that is the New Dimension mandate. That's the only approved account. And then the account that's been approved in Homeland. So when you click on the New Dimension mandate, you scroll down, you will see the Homeland donate account. And we're already getting a lot of reports that the Homeland people are donating to that account. Thank you so much, Homeland people, for following that instruction and making your donations as we are getting updates on the donations from the different 40 states in Homeland. Thank you so much.
Biafran itsenäisyyttä ajava nigerialaisryhmä on kokoontunut Lahteen. 5-päiväisessä tapahtumassa ryhmä on tehnyt Biafran itsenäisyysjulistuksen. Tapahtuman taustalla on lahtelainen Simon Ekpa, joka vangittiin viime kuussa epäiltynä terrorismirikoksesta. Ryhmä suunnittelee huomiseksi Lahteen isoa mielenosoitusta Ekpan vuoksi. Hämeen poliisi seuraa tapahtumia.
We gathered in Helsinki last year for the preparation to today's event. And then we chose Lahti because our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, whom the Finland local authorities says that he's inciting us, he's not here with us today. So we gathered here because this is the city where he lives. And we are used to Finland. They say he's inciting people. But we are fighting for our freedom. We have the right to self-determination. And that's exactly the same thing our Prime Minister is doing.
I want to encourage every Biafrans to be very, very, very resolute and focused. The difference between us, the Biafra people, and those that are blackmailing and propagating all manner of falsehood against us is that they are two-faced people, corrupt, very unbalanced people, and we are not two-faced. These people that are parading and spreading all this falsehood against us are those who believe in Biafra and they believe in Nigeria.
Simon Ekpa,